Welcome back to Salty Sunshine. This is Lisa. I'm here to talk some shiz with you. Who's listening to He's Choosing Texas, I Can Tell? Ella Langley. That song is everywhere. I know it's been out for a second, but it's blowing up all over the place. It's such a good song. You should go listen to it. She's been around for quite a while, but she just blew up now. And if you go look at her before and after photos, it's interesting how your look can really change everything. I mean, we saw that with Kylie Jenner. If Kylie Jenner wouldn't have done all this plastic surgery, including her lip filler, she probably wouldn't have blown up the way she did with her lip kits. And it's just interesting. It's interesting to watch how, and it goes across the board. Everybody tries to say, don't be so shallow, blah, 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 blah. But there is a limit. In other words, I don't think Kylie looks, I think she looks like she's 50 because she's had so much work done. It's not something I find appealing, but she needed those lips for the lip kit to blow up the way it did. And Ella Langley is saying she looks very different than she used to. She darkened her hair. She cut bangs. She has extensions. She lost a lot of weight. And it's revamped her career along with the hit songs. And she even said it, I heard her on, the Theo Von podcast. It's such a good episode. You need to go listen to it. I don't even listen to Theo Von, and I went to listen to it because I saw a clip and it made me chuckle. And the whole thing is hilarious. It's awkward and funny. I really, really enjoy that episode because they're two rednecks with their twang, the way they speak. It's amazing. And it's funny. But yeah, she even said it on the podcast. She said that cutting her bangs kind of revamped her career. And it's true. It's just she has a whole new look. It's a fresh vibe. You know, when you break up with somebody or you go through a huge divorce, you cut your hair, you change your look. You do something different to kind of get out of that era. So it is interesting. I think it's like with anything else. You go into a clean house, a tidy house, a pretty house, it makes you feel it uplifts you. If you go into a dirty, hoarding, knickknack house, it feels cluttered and you feel like you want to get out of there. It's the same with a hotel. It's the same with your car, a car. When things look pretty and are clean, it just makes a difference. It really does. And it goes across the board. Even my dog. I'm obsessed with my dog. And when I give her a bath and a haircut, I cannot get enough of her. And I can't get as mad at her as I do when she is scruffy and unkept. It's just the truth. I want to suck her up and hail her for lunch when she's so cute. I can't handle it. It's so funny. But then when she's overdue for a bath and a haircut, I get more annoyed with her, and it's so interesting. You have to keep it together. You have to keep it together. That's why I always tell people that are married or they're in a relationship, of course, you don't have to be perfect. And of course, if you have stress and there's stuff going on, you're going to, let yourself go a little bit. There is something to be said. You cannot let yourself go too much and expect the other person to not notice. I love that song. He's choosing Texas, I can tell by the way he's two-stepping around the room. It's such a good song. That whole album, Dandelion. And she said on the podcast that her last album was called Hung Over. And she followed it up with this album, Dandelion, because Dandelion has all these health properties, dandelion tea, dandelion this and that, and it cures a hangover. So basically it's like the growth from the hangover. Go listen to it. I love that song. And I loved that podcast with her and Theo Von. It was really funny and awkward. Coachella happened this past weekend. It just looks like my worst nightmare. I like watching it online and seeing all the outfits and the parties, but would I ever want to go? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't know. If I was like catered and given the VIP treatment, maybe. But it still looks like a lot of work. I don't know. But Justin Bieber performed. People are really talking about the irony between him getting paid a ton of money and the most money out of all the artists there. Sabrina Carpenter. So Sabrina Carpenter put on this whole to-do, as she does, and she really, really performed. And then Justin Bieber comes out, in his boxers. He wasn't in his boxers, but that kind of thing, looking at YouTube videos. I heard a rumor that he was looking at YouTube and singing over the YouTube because since he sold his book of music, That was the only way he could perform it. I don't know if that's true, but everyone's saying that it's man versus woman, which let's keep it real. It is true. Men have to do less for more, and it's true. But that's the woman's fault because women fawn all over men and clap for any little thing they do, and we tear each other down. So it is what it is. Yes, he did less for more money. He also is a longer standing artist and has, you know, hierarchy status, but the effort isn't there. But it's okay. I mean, what if, Mariah Carey came and just sang, or Whitney Houston would sing without doing, they don't have, real singers don't have to dance and do all that. But it is interesting to see the difference between men and women. There is a big one. I see it at work. I see it everywhere. A woman can't be direct. A woman can't say anything because, oh God, she's such a bitch. And the guy comes and says three times worse, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody says a freaking thing, and it drives me crazy. And so, yeah, that was Coachella. I did notice that Charlie D'Amelio, I guess she doesn't really talk to her sister anymore because they were saying that they were both there. They were never seen together. I don't know what's going on there, but they're saying that. I don't really follow Charlie D'Amelio that much. I heard that Addison Rae had a really good performance, and I don't know why people were clowning on her, saying that she was trying to be Britney Spears. She's had that look of Britney Spears on stage type of thing when she performs, which I don't love that look. The heavy day after wear look makeup and the hair all over your face and it looks ratty. I don't know, the hungover look. I don't like it. I've never liked it on Britney. It's just like you're wearing. It's like even J Lo gets it. You're wearing a costume, and it just looks like the costume is old and hasn't been washed, and the hair's 3 days old and is just teased to death, and the makeup. I don't know, that whole thing. The stockings. It does give dirty, and I don't love it. So, but I love Addison Rae. I think she should do more movies. I think she's really good in the stuff I've seen her in. So she should do that. I don't think she's such a performer. She's a good dancer though. But her music, I don't know. I don't see it taking off or anything. Alix, Lex and Lix. That's what the toast is calling them. Alix, Earle, Alix, Cooper. Drama. Oh my God. Dave Portnoy is killing me. He's trying to have this Tea by the Sea take off on his Instagram and TikTok. He even made a separate Instagram account for it. He made hats, he made merch. He's sitting in a chair on the beach and his Keys. He bought a house in the Keys. He has a little private beach. He sits there while everyone tells him to put sunblock on and that he looks like leather. And he wants to sit there and make little videos and give us the tea. And he keeps saying that he keeps asking people to give him the tea and nobody will give him the tea, and it's crickets, and it's hilarious because he can't give us the tea unless someone gives him the tea because he's not in the know of the tea, and it's really funny. The only thing he was in the know of is when Brianna Chicken Fry told him that Wes and Amanda have been hooking up since at least Super Bowl, and so he blurted that out. And now Alix versus Brie Chicken Fry. Alex Cooper came out and made a video because Alix Earle has been passive aggressive, reposting and liking things and whatever to all the comments of her and Alex Cooper's drama that they've had years ago since she left the Unwell Network. And Alex Cooper's had enough. And she's like, listen, hi, what's your beef? I don't have any beef. I have nothing to hide. If you're going to say something, just say it. But I'm sick of the passive aggressive shit. If not say it or knock it off. And I'm with Alex Cooper on that. I mean, it is true. Say it or knock it off. Unless you're just doing it for clicks and drama. Alix Earle has her reality show that's coming out, and everyone's saying she's probably going to wait to say something on the show. I predict it's a huge nothing burger. It's a 0-0 burger. It's probably along the lines of she didn't want to pay me what I was worth, and she was trying to get me to do things that I didn't want to do, and we just didn't click and we didn't vibe. I think that's the big nothing burger that Alix Earle, that's why she doesn't like Alex Cooper. And it's really silly because now Alex Cooper really put her on the line to say, what the hell is this? Tell everybody the awful thing I did to you. It's probably not awful. It's probably just business, and it's probably just they didn't vibe. And that's a big nothing burger. Who cares? So I think that's what it is, and I think Alex Cooper's in the win right now until we find out more. But she really did make Alex Earle look silly, and then Alex said, "I'm on it," and she hasn't said anything. So I think she has nothing to say. And then Brianna Chicken Fry chimes in saying, "Oh, Alex Earle's gonna roast her, and this and that." And so now Alex Cooper made another video showing receipts of her and Brianna Chicken Fry in the DMs, and everything's copacetic and good. And then Chicken Fry came out making another video saying, yeah, that was before Alex Earle told me what you did to her, and before you hired Grace, my ex-best friend nemesis, to your podcast, and you didn't invite me on your podcast, whatever. It's silly. Brianna Chicken Fry is just stirring the pot because she doesn't like Alex Cooper for her own personal. I hate when people do that. So I cannot like Alex Cooper. I cannot like anybody, but I am able to look at things objectively. I I don't like when people hop on the bandwagon just because they happen to not like them for another reason. So the fact that you don't like what she did with Grace O'Malley has nothing to do with Alex or Alex Cooper. Like, you're being biased, and that drives me nuts. Like, shut up, get out of the chat. That drives me nuts. I would go follow Dave Portnoy's page because it's hilarious. He has no idea what he's talking about. Grandpa doesn't know. I'm just kidding. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like listening to your mother talk about things. He has no clue. He keeps calling Amanda Pachulia. Amanda Pachulia. People are correcting him in the comments. He's not reading the comments, and he keeps calling her Amanda Pachulia. It's really funny. So Amanda Patula and West, they were spotted out at a Yankees game. He kissed her. Everybody on the internet, the trolls that have no life, are saying that they read her lips and she was saying, act like you like me. Probably not true. The internet's wild. I think people should be able to go out without being recorded. I just wish the world would go back to being a little bit normal. Can't we just talk about things without obsessing and reading into everything and giving your stupid spiel on what you it's just enough already. They're a couple, they're together, leave it alone. She betrayed Sierra in the friendship way, even though Wes was never going to be with Sierra, so it's kind of silly. But yes, as a friend, she decided to end that friendship for Wes, and that's a choice she made, and that's it. It's not a crime. It happens all the time, and that's that on that. I do think Wes is really into her. The minute this came out, I said, oh yeah, they really thought it was worth the backlash they were going to get for being together. And I think he's really into her. And it just goes back to what I've always said, and I will die on this hill. When a man really likes you, there's no, oh, he's not ready. Oh, he's immature. Oh, he's not a commitment person. Oh, all that goes out the window. Wes is a commitment person. He's committed to Amanda, at least at the moment. And he's willing to go through this for her. And you could tell he's into her. And this is like a tale as old as time. The girls just don't see, they don't want to see what's in front of them. Sierra hasn't learned her lesson either. I mean, she kept messing around with Wes, having hope, having these stupid conversations. He's not into you. He hasn't sat you down and said, listen, Sierra, I want to give this a try. I regret what I did, and I want to take you on a date. He hasn't done that. He's basically saying, I'll sleep with you, but I want nothing serious. He's not into you. And that has nothing to do with you, how pretty you are, how likable you are, how special you are. You're all those things. He's just not into you, and that has nothing to do with you. It has to do with chemistry. It has to do with that imaginary it factor. It's either there or it's not there. It just is. And that's why relationships are really special, when you find that connection and you hit it off. And that's why you shouldn't mess with it, because it is rare. You're not just like into anybody like that. So it is something. There's a million people that are nice, a million people that are smart, a million people that have pretty this and a nice body and take care of themselves and priorities and blah, 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 blah. But you don't like any of them. You only like that one person or those few people, because it's a thing that no one could describe. And that's why people lose their minds over it. I mean, think about it. He just didn't have that with her, and she had it for him. It was very one-sided. I do believe she was very into him. She probably had a chemistry she hasn't felt with other people, but he didn't feel the same. And you just have to accept that. You could still be hurt, but you have to accept it. So that's Amanda and West. Speaking of F boys and drama, Gleb from Dancing with the Stars, he dated Brooke Snyder. He was on the show with on her show. She said he cheated on her. He didn't treat her very well. And then now he's on this Unwell production show. I forgot what it was called on YouTube. It's a competition show. Alex Cooper's company called Unwell. She brought Gleb and Dakota from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which is crazy because, I mean, I don't know. Everyone's saying Alex Cooper's supposed to be for the women and about women and da da da, but how could she put these two guys that are treating women like shit on her show? But when it comes to entertainment, you're just gonna do whatever people are gonna watch and it's gonna make money and it's gonna have drama around it. It's about the money. So I guess, I don't know. So Gleb said to Dakota, there's a scene that he's saying that Brooks was the worst sex he's ever had. Why he said that, I don't know. I think Dakota was comparing Taylor and Brooks, that they're both a little wackadoodle and they're hot-headed or whatever. And then Gleb says that. And even Dakota was taken back, it seems. But that was a disgusting thing to say. I mean, what does that even mean? She can't be that bad, right? I mean, for a guy, they just need a bump on a log. They don't, what's so bad about it, you know? He obviously dated her for months. He obviously told her he loved her. He wanted to move in with her. So he's a liar. And he's saying that to be a shitty jerk a-hole. Because it's just not true. And that's not something a gentleman says anyways, right? So he's disgusting. And I think, oh yeah, Dakota was taken off Vanderpump Villa. Lisa Vanderpump said it wasn't worth the negativity he brought. So they're not going to air his part, which is fine. Yeah. And then Taylor Frankie Paul has got off with no charges. The pending court stuff that she had, I know she still has custody stuff with Dakota with their child together, but as far as her probation and the tapes that came out, and then the most recent incident, the judge ruled that he's not going to penalize her for the probation and the other stuff. So she has no charges. No charges will be filed against her. And it's interesting. Her family must either know people there or like the judge. They must know the judge, because for them not to do anything, maybe even extend the probation or any slap on the wrist, is interesting, because she was on probation and she did violate that. They must know her or something. But she got very lucky. From what I see, she keeps posting things on social media. I don't know her, obviously. These are just opinions, but she does seem to play the victim role and take zero accountability. And she thinks her being honest is a get out of jail free card to just continue to do the same things, and she doesn't take accountability, and she doesn't realize being honest is not it doesn't mean you're taking accountability. She doesn't look like she has any shame about it, and she just seems like to be mad at Dakota for doing this to her, quote unquote, but she doesn't seem to really feel it about her own behavior. And it's kind of weird. It just is. She does have her other kids with her from her first marriage, so that's good that she has them around so she doesn't feel completely alone. Oh my god, all these texts came out between her and Dakota. It's so embarrassing. I would die if I were her. I would never go back on social media. I would never go back on reality TV. I meant, she has these messages after the most recent incident that they fought in the car or something. Her and Dakota's like, do you want to F? And she's like, what are you talking about? My nose is broken, or my something hurt. She was bleeding. And he's like, yeah, but you said you wanted to. They are really, really toxic, and beyond what we all know. The toxicity between those two, and she's part of it, it's not just him, is way beyond what we can even think. Like, they're very kinky and nasty to each other. You could just tell. And those text messages are crazy. Another situation I found interesting, Rachel Zoe her ex-husband Roger, he has a girlfriend. They've been dating for a year or two. The girlfriend says two. She came out and posted this whole statement in response to Rachel's comments on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's silly. The gist of it is, hey girl, leave me the fuck alone. You're acting like a jealous ex. You didn't want to be with him, so what are you crying about? I'm sick of the narrative. See you when I see you. You do you, boo. It's so immature and so embarrassing. I think her name is Bree Jacoby, Roger's girlfriend. She's not a spring chicken. That's how maybe a 20-year-old reacts, a 25, 30. She's older. So it's wild to me that this is what she chose to do in response. She didn't have to respond, first of all. No one's talking to you. Rachel didn't mention her once. Rachel just said, Roger's in the wrong for, shoving the girlfriend down. Roger's in the wrong. She didn't mention the girl. She didn't say anything about the girl that I remember. And if she did, it was very slight. But even if she did, you have a woman that was with this man for 40 years? It was a ridiculous amount of time they were together. You have to give an ex-wife grace. You're the new woman. If I'm dating you, which I dated a guy that was married for 25 years and they got divorced, was fresh, and that woman gave me hell. That woman embarrassed me. That woman acted stupid. But I had compassion for her because I know it's tough when you're getting divorced. You have kids. I don't care how good the man is with you at the moment. He gave her shit, and he drove her crazy, and he was a dick, right? Because he wasn't into her anymore. So he probably gaslit her. He probably did all this stuff. That's how, as a woman, we know this. So instinctively, you should give her some grace. Lay low. Don't exasperate it. Ignore, smile. Just stay away as much as you can. Don't get involved in their dealings. Don't tell him what to do with the, custody, this and that. Let them deal with their shit, and you smile and you walk away. That's what I did. And at the end of the day, she ended up liking me because I was so likable. I didn't give her trouble. I didn't put myself in it. I didn't do what this dumb lady's doing to Rachel. Now Rachel really is going to hate her. And it's so silly because they have two little boys. Is that good for the little kids? I'm thinking about the kids. She's not thinking about the kids. And if the woman continues to be a nightmare in the long run, which usually that's not the case, once they get over it and they see that you're not taking the bait and you're really not into it, they get bored and they move on. So it was really embarrassing. She said to leave me the fuck alone. She said, I'll see you at the bar mitzvah. And I thought she humiliated herself. And I don't know, if he's okay with that statement she made, he's a piece of shit. He's not a good dad, and he's a piece of shit because it's your job to tell her you stay the fuck out of it. This is none of your business. We're going through divorce. We have kids, and you stay out of it. And that's what he should do, because she's not telling Roger bad things about his girlfriend that he needs to defend her. They don't barely speak, so there's no reason for this. I thought that was a crazy, embarrassing look for her, and it's never a good idea, and nothing good is going to come of that at all. At all. What did I watch? I watched Laguna Beach Reunion. It's called The Reunion Laguna Beach on Roku. It's free. You just have to do the Roku app, or if you have Roku TV. It was cute. I loved Laguna Beach, and it was so yummy and nostalgic to just cozy up on the couch and watch it. It was really fun. They just visited each other's homes, kind of did little happy hours and talked, and then they did a kind of reunion setup and talked about it. And the old cast came and talked about where they are now and who's married and blah, blah, blah. It was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Steven looks exactly the same. Steven has the best skin, and it's so cute watching the throwbacks of them skateboarding through Laguna and all that stuff. And they're still friends today, him and his guys. I thought it was adorable. I really enjoyed it. And then I saw Scarpetta on Prime with Nicole Kidman. Now, Scarpetta, I started to watch it because somebody told me to watch it. They were watching it. It was good. I struggled to get through the first 2 episodes or so because it was a little boring. But I pushed through. Sometimes you're not in the headspace. Sometimes you watch something and you're just like, you can't do it. And then one day you're in it, you're in the mood and you can do it. But it gets better. And after the third or fourth episode, it gets better, and then I really enjoyed the rest of it. So it was pretty good. The beginning was kind of boring, but I think Nicole Kidman is dating the guy that plays her husband in the show. She was on the red carpet holding hands with him for the premiere, and I think they're dating, which is insane. I envy women like that. They could just get divorced and hop on right to the next person, because that's usually a guy will do that, but women take longer. And I always think it's so fabulous when a woman does it, because I could never do that. And I hate that I can't do that, because I wish I could do that. I wish I didn't need to, I don't know. I envy women that can do that. So good for her. It's a good one. Oh, speaking of Siesta Key and old shows, Siesta Key, I don't know why it came up on my feed. I don't know if you guys, if you watch Siesta Key, if you remember Madison. Madison started to date one of the ex-producers of the show. His name is Ish. If you watched it, you remember towards the end, she was with this guy that was 20 years older than her, 20 or 21 years older than her, and it was so disgusting. It felt so icky to watch because he looked so much older than her. I mean, she literally looked like a baby. It was gross. They're still together. They got married, they lost their first baby, and now they have a brother, and they're still married. I thought that was crazy to see them still. They're going strong. So I remember her talking to her dad on the show, and he was like, absolutely not. This is no. And she said, I don't care what you say, I'm going to do it anyways. And I guess it came around, but that was really interesting to see. Also from Siesta Key, Alex Campo. He was Juliet's love of her life. He was a rich guy. His dad's the one that created the show. And then he was taken off the show because he had that whole incident with I think it was the sharks or something, of abusing sea life on the boat. Something came out with him and some animal sea life, and because of that, they took him off the show. But what he was on the show for a few seasons. He was always with Juliet, but cheating on her, messing with her, being a jerk, and she would lose her mind. And he ended up dating this girl, Alyssa Salerno. She got pregnant, had a baby. They were engaged up to recently, and now they're not together. So, what happened there? No one knows, or at least I don't know. I haven't seen anything. She was on her bachelorette party the last I saw. So, they were making plans to get married. So, either something happened that she caught him in a lie, cheating, or I don't know what happened. Something happened. Maybe they disagreed about a way to live, where to live. I don't know. But she scrubbed her Instagram of his photos. He scrubbed his Instagram of her photos. Apparently, it's contentious. And, they're just figuring it out with the courts, child support, and all that. Now, my question is, I know Juliet Porter. She was just on what show? Oh, I think the Unwell show. I think she was on the Unwell show, Alex Cooper's network on YouTube or something. I think she was on something with Huda. I don't watch any of those shows. I have no interest. Those people, after they leave a reality show, I don't want to see anything else. Competition, any of that. I won't watch it. But I want to know what Juliet thinks, because we all know he did a number on her. She's a little wackadoodle too, Juliet, when it comes to men. And I'm just curious. I don't think he's reached out to her or anything like that because it's been so long. But I don't see Juliet with anybody. And it seems like she's been single for a while. She dated what was his name? That guy, that white guy that looked like Eminem but tall and the way too tight shirts, and he had a lot of money. She dated him for a little bit after Alex, and then she dated someone else after him. That was a long time ago. So I see that she's single lately, and I want to know if she's daydreaming about Alex, because you know how that is. You don't have anyone in your life. You see they pop up because of whatever. People start talking. I'm sure her friends know that live in Siesta Key. They probably know the juice, all that stuff. That would be interesting. I haven't seen her say anything about it, and she would look stupid if she did. I'm sure she won't. But that's what I want to know. Um, Teenager drank 2 Alani energy drinks and died, and now she's suing the drink company. Now, there's so many thoughts on this. Well, there's two thoughts. One side is saying It's what are you suing for? It's the label's there. You're only supposed to drink one a day, has 400 milligrams of caffeine. And I just think it's nuts that there's a product that they sell in a grocery store that if you drink more than one, you can literally die. I don't think that drink should be able to be sold. That shouldn't be able to be sold. I don't care how big the warning is on the can saying not to drink more than one. That's crazy. That's like saying you have more than one cigarette, you're going to die tomorrow. You could die of a heart attack. That no, then you shouldn't be able to sell it. There's something more than caffeine because people drink 7 coffees a day sometimes and they don't die. So there's something in that drink that's more than caffeine that is dangerous and they should stop making it. I personally don't drink energy drinks because I've seen too many horror stories about people having heart attacks. And I don't know, but the parents, everyone's saying, well, the parents bought it for her and she's underage and they had it in the house and they should have known better. I'm curious to see what happens in the lawsuit. I don't know. I don't see how they're liable, but it is crazy that they're able to sell stuff. But people have lawsuits for all sorts of reasons, and sometimes they win. So, true crime. Okay. The doctor in Hawaii, Gerhard Koenig, he was found guilty on April 8th, 2026. He's the one that lived in Hawaii with his wife. He's an anesthesiologist. He took his wife on a hike. He tried to inject her with some shit. He tried to push her off the cliff. He hit her with a rock. He tried to kill her, and it wasn't going well because she fought back so hard, which good for her. She survived. She's alive, and now he's convicted of murder. He faces up to 20 years in prison, and they're not going to sentence him till August, which is crazy. Why does it take 4 months to sentence him? That's good news. He was saying that he wasn't guilty, which is crazy. There's another true crime on Netflix, which this is interesting. The Truth and Tragedy of Mariah Wilson on Netflix. It's about a 2022 murder of rising gravel cycling star Mo Wilson by Caitlin Armstrong in Austin. This was a Dateline or 2020. I'm sure of it because I already know the story. I already saw it. What the freak is Netflix doing? Regurgitating Datelines and 2020s as a documentary as if it's new. This is not a new story. This is old news, and this is pissing me off. I feel like they're just regurgitating, giving you things that are already out there, and I don't appreciate it. Why would they do that? I've already seen this. This is old. This is on 2020, 48 hours, all that. And they made it into a documentary as if it's new. That's crazy. That's pissing me off. What is that about? The last and most horrific true crime that came out recently is this former FedEx driver pleaded guilty to murdering 7-year-old Athena Strand. His name is Tanner Horner. He's an absolute disgusting, despicable monster. And I don't even want to talk about it. I can't even look at the things. It's so horrific. He lured her into his FedEx van and did despicable things to her. And apparently they played the audio and video for the court to see. And people were crying and sobbing and had to leave the courtroom and throwing up. And it was just so awful. And I just can't with these men. It's happened so often that I'm starting to think men shouldn't be able to have sex and men shouldn't be able to be out in the wild without complete supervision because there's so many men that are doing this and hurting women and children all the time. When are we going to do something about it? He lured her into his van and did unthinkable things to her while she was yelling and screaming for her parents, and then he threw her somewhere and disposed of her body. And it's just the most disgusting and saddening thing. This happens all the time, but there's just something very brutal about this. And what I don't understand is the FedEx had a camera, and I think it shows him covering the camera. So he knew the camera was there. So how did he not think he was gonna get caught? I don't understand. I mean, the worst part of it is him wanting to do it in the first place, but Why, if he knew the camera was there, what was he thinking? Because did he not know there was audio? And if he covered it, then he uncovered it. Why would he uncover it and not leave it covered? I don't know, because you could see the little girl standing there in behind him asking, are you, she even tells him, are you a kidnapper? Oh my gosh, she already knew she was in danger. It's just the most horrific. I don't know what. It's just so horrific. It's so horrific, and this happens way too often. And I just can't. I hope they give him the electric chair. And he's just explaining it to the people. There's video of him in the police district and the office, and just like kind of explaining it as if, matter of fact, this is what happened, as if it wasn't the most awful, disgusting thing a human could do on this earth. It was really, really bad. And I hope he rots in hell. People cannot have your kids out playing. You have to supervise them every second of every day. I saw a video the other day on the news of this guy that pulled up to close to a bus stop. And I guess there was a camera from either the red light or whatever. The girl's walking and he literally gets out of the car, crosses the street, grabs her, drags her to the car, puts her in there and drives off. They found him later and arrested him, but I don't know if at that point he was able to violate her and do anything to her. There was another video of a lady taking she pulled up somewhere and there was these little kids, and there was this guy kind of with his phone taking a picture, and she pulls down her window and she's like, she asked the kids, do you know this man? And they said no. And she's like yelling at him like, why are you taking pictures of him? And she's like, get away from him, go walk back to your house. And she's calling the kids to walk together, and she's taking video of the guy in the car he got in. It's just constant predator men out here, and we have to do something about it. It's really making me sick. I haven't stopped thinking about this Athena girl and the FedEx driver. It's haunting me every day. It's just so vile. I don't know how her parents can go on. I don't know, as a parent, how do you move on? Because one thing is if your kid dies in a car accident or a disease or something, that's awful, but it's just something you can live with, because they didn't suffer unnecessarily by the hands of just like some disgusting human being. I don't know, it's just different. So I don't know how the parents move on from that. It's really heartbreaking, but that's my true crime, and that's a really sad note to leave on. Sorry about that, but let's all pray that these monsters just get out of our world, that these monsters' brains heal, because I don't know what you have to have in you to be so vile of a human being. So, anyways, that's all I have. I'm looking forward to the Beverly Hills reunion coming, and I don't know when they're shooting Summer House reunion, but they got to get on it because we've got to see it. And then the Alex Cooper drama, I think it's going to stay the way it is. I don't think she's going to say a thing. So be your best selves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.